Welcome to the Regional Chamber's annual spring Canfield program, but the very first evening edition of what has always been our Good Morning Canfield event, if that makes sense. I'm Kim Calvert, Vice President of Marketing and Business Services, and I'd like to thank you for joining us today. As you know, Magnolia Spa Salon is one of the companies we're going to be honoring today, and they were so gracious to bring a giveaway, which I understand is a day-long spa package. So if you have your card, the postcard that we sent out in the mail, or your business card, our staff is going to come around and collect them, and when Carolyn accepts her award, she'll tell you more about the package and also select the winner from our big vase. So Amy will be around, so please do put those. I think we all need spa days. Well, again, thank you and welcome to our first Good Evening event. The Canfield Area Council of the Chamber, which comprises city, township, and schools officials, as well as individuals who live and or work in Canfield, meets several times a year and plans our spring and fall events. They are always working hard to bring you educational programs, but with a little bit of fun and uniqueness added. And they decided they wanted to try this event over cocktails, and well, no one argued with that. So I would actually like to take a moment and ask the members of the Canfield Area Council to stand. Can you please give this group a round of applause? I really can't say enough about the council or how much I appreciate their help. They really are responsible for planning these events, and by that I don't mean that they just throw me ideas and walk away. From beginning to end, they make sure that they plan the event, bring topics and speakers that they know you'll appreciate, and then actually follow through and help me secure all of the parts, and sometimes there are more moving parts than you may realize, as we're laughing tonight because we've got all kinds of things going on up here. But again, tonight, this is our second largest it's a good evening, but our Good Morning program in the last 5 years. And I'd like to thank Brian, Governor of Safeguard, I'm sorry, I know I've got your name wrong, Brian, formerly of P&W, now with Safeguard, for creating and sending out our postcards, which we sent to 500 companies, members and non-members both, which I'm sure has attributed to our much larger crowd tonight. And a few years ago, Craig Olson, who is also part of our council, did the same. And I think that event drew almost 190. So really, it's because of people like those on our council that we are so successful. And the awards we're presenting tonight, also from our council. They created these awards and they take a lot of time to select the recipients. And I know it's not an easy task because there are so many wonderful people in our community. And they incorporated and showcased students from the Canfield area schools, the local schools, several years ago. And that's become a staple of our programs. And because of the success of that, we now incorporate those into all of our Good Morning programs as well. So what we really want to do is what they want to do is add more people like themselves to our area council, people who are very dedicated to the Canfield community. And they really do welcome anyone who wants to join our group. I promise you'll laugh, you'll have fun at somebody's expense, and you'll probably gain 5 pounds eating breakfast because they do like to meet at Bob Evans every couple of months. But you will be proud to be part of this council and this group and what they do for the chamber and our community. So again, I welcome you if you want to join our group, just to let myself or any of the council members know, and we'll put you on our list for further distribution of the next meeting. Well, moving on, because of the format of this event, we're going to move along as quickly as possible to give you more time to network at the conclusion of our updates. We're going to present our 5 and 5 with 5-minute updates from Canfield City, Township, and schools, and on a couple of construction projects that are taking place right up the road. We'll also present our 2 annual awards this evening, the Canfield Area Business Council's 11th Business Pride Award and the 5th Spirit of Canfield Award. And the council also wanted to honor a very dedicated gentleman posthumously with a Special Citizenship Award. But before we begin, I just want to take a minute to remind you of a couple of the Regional Chamber's upcoming events that may be of interest. You can find all of the details on our website at regionalchamber.com. Please be sure to check this page often as we're adding lots of new events this year. One I'd like to note is a 4-part series called Rebuilding America, which will focus on the gap in the loss of middle skills, how that gap is impacting the entire nation, and how leaders, educators, and policymakers may address this issue moving forward. The first event, to be held on May 20th, features Harvard Business School senior lecturer Joseph Fuller, who is a member of the team leading Harvard's ongoing project on U.S. competitiveness. And on May 28th, we will honor 16 professional women in the Valley at our 23rd annual Athena Award dinner, at which Beth Mooney, CEO of Key Corp, and the #1 ranked most powerful woman in banking, as well as one of the most powerful women in the world, will be our keynote speaker. Moving on, I would now like to take this opportunity to thank Farmers National Bank, a longtime sponsor and huge supporter of the Regional Chamber and the Canfield community. We would certainly not be able to host any of our events without the generosity of our member companies, and we're honored to have this company with us as a sponsor of our program today. Please join me in welcoming from Farmers National, Mr. Carl Culp, Executive Vice President of Cashier and Chief Financial Officer.
Thank you, Kim. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Farmers National Bank, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone for attending this evening's program. I would like to thank the Chamber for hosting Good Evening Canfield and for allowing us to kick off this program tonight. Tonight is going to be an exciting evening, and we're recognizing several deserving individuals and businesses, and we are thrilled to be part of this tradition. The Citizenship Award, Canfield Business Pride Award, and Spirit of Canfield Award allow us to celebrate the exemplary individuals that help Canfield thrive and remain a good place to work and live. I would like to give a brief update for you on Farmers National Bank. Just today, this afternoon, we held our annual meeting of shareholders and had the privilege of reporting a favorable 2014 fiscal year, as well as a preview of the recent merger acquisition that we are embarking on with First National Bank of Orrville. The merger will create the third largest community bank in northeastern Ohio, and it will be headquartered right here in Canfield. For those of you that are Farmers shareholders, we ask that for your support as we move this deal forward with a special vote and a meeting in the very near future. Thank you for your time for this evening, and again, congratulations tonight to all the award winners. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Carl, and to Farmers National Bank for your support of our program, Canfield Township and the Regional Chamber. Well, before we continue with our agenda, I just want to introduce a few special guests. We talk about the fact that we always incorporate our talented students from the Canfield local schools. And for a few minutes tonight, I do want to introduce a couple of members of the speech and debate team and their head coach as well. So please welcome Jeremy Hamilton, Allie Cooper, and Jordan Audia.
Good evening, everybody. At Canfield High School, we strive to offer several courses, activities, organizations, and experiences that benefit the students tremendously. And I have the fortune to teach math during the day at the high school, and then in the evenings work with 82 exceptionally talented and motivated young men and women on the Canfield speech and debate team. We could talk about all of our success. We're top 10 in the state for 7 consecutive years. We were 3rd in the state this year. But more than trophies and success, it's cool from my perspective to see students develop as people throughout their 4 years of high school and their 4 years on the team. So I'm going to introduce one of our sophomores, one of our team officers next year, Jordan Audia, who's going to share some of his perspectives on the team briefly.
Hello. So, speech and debate, probably the best decision I've made throughout high school. Definitely joining the team. And I think that will definitely last with me throughout senior year. My opinion will not change on the organization itself. It's just great working with a lot of very dedicated coaches and friends and team members. Definitely the skills that we earn throughout these 4 years on the team will stay with us throughout our life, whether it be auditioning for a play or job interview, college interview, whatever it is, it will stick with us. And definitely with competing, it's very socially based. Really, to pretty much put it simply, before I joined speech, I wasn't very talkative, I was very quiet. And as soon as I joined speech, just like that, I was a social butterfly, to put it simply. And not only with that, definitely along with competing, it's not just about competing, it's more about socializing with fellow competitors. Definitely with competing on the team, I have not met a single person that I have not liked throughout competing in these past 2 years. That's pretty much it. That's all I have to say.
Good job, Jordan. I'm going to say one brief thing before we leave. At the beginning of the year, I asked Jordan if he would speak in front of our team and parents at a team and family dinner, and he looked at me in the eye and said, "I'm not good enough to do that. I can't stand in front of a room of our team and talk." And tonight I asked if he wanted to make some brief remarks here, and he said, "I can do it." So, as a sophomore, seeing that development, it's scary to stand up here, and for him to be able to do that, what I saw from his freshman year to now, and he has 2 more years of high school to grow. So thank you for the support of our speech and debate team. If you'd like more information, we'll have it outside, and we thank you for your support of Canfield Speech and Debate and Canfield Schools.
Thank you, Jeremy, Allie, and Jordan. We really do appreciate your time here with us this evening. To continue on with our agenda, I would like to call on the Canfield Area Council's fearless leader, Vice President and COO of L. Calvin Jones and Company, Mr. Jim Klingensmith.
Thank you, Kim. I need my glasses. First of all, on behalf of the Canfield Area Council, I'd like to welcome and thank each of you for joining us this evening for an exciting program. Our first order of the evening is to present our annual awards, but before I start, I would just like to note that Ohio Secretary of State John Husted has sent commendations for our recipients tonight, and I wanted to thank his regional liaison, Perry Alexandrides, for joining us and presenting them on the Secretary of State's behalf. Our first award this evening is the Business Pride Award. This year's recipient has been working in the salon and spa industry for more than 28 years and moved her business into the heart of Canfield. Carolyn Capabianca Cruz opened Magnolias on the Green Salon and Spa at 79 North Broad Street in 2006 and never looked back. The business that occupies a house that is more than 100 years old offers clients the opportunity to tap into their inner beauty with services ranging from haircuts, colors, straightening treatments, to massages, manicures, pedicures, facials, makeup. So named for the flower that contains a juice that contributes to strength and wellness, Magnolias on the Green and its team not only make men and women look and feel great, but use their skills to benefit various causes in our community. They have participated in fundraisers, such as the All Play Handicap Park, Beatitude House, Canfield Community Care Network, and for this September, the group is planning a balance and wellness fashion show as well. As Magnolias has grown over the years, so has the number of staff. The salon and spa now employs 23, many of whom have been with Carolyn for more than 5 years. Magnolias offers more continuing education than the state requires to ensure that their team is always a step ahead. Because of Carolyn's and Magnolia's growth and success, a second location may one day be on the horizon. In the meantime, Carolyn is committed to giving her all to the business in Canfield. While she initially leased the North Broad Street house for her business in 2006, she decided to purchase it in 2012. And though she plans to continue to improve the property as funds permit, she also intends to keep the house in its original state to preserve its beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2015 Canfield Area Council Business Pride Award recipient, Magnolias on the Green Salon and Spa owner, Carolyn Capabianca Cruz.
Thank you so much for having me here tonight. He really covered a lot of what I was going to say and my history here in Canfield. A little bit more about my background. My father, my grandfather were barbers. I'm a product of the vocational school, 1985 graduate, cosmetology, proud of that. And I've made some really great friends, and I wanted to thank Don Foley for nominating me, George McConnell for being a huge supporter and client of our salon. Many of you here are clients, and I really appreciate your patronage. Those of you that are not, come see us. The video shows the character of our salon. Hi, Donnie Dragish. He's been with me, a longtime friend. And all my support staff here, my husband who continues to let me play beauty shop. And I'm a proud mom of two girls and a boy, triplets that are 16. A lot of my time goes towards them. but these ladies at this table make the salon run and function when I'm not there. And I just can't say enough. I'm very proud of this building. I'm proud of Canfield. I'm proud of being a part of it. I plan to be here a long time, and thank you so much for tonight. This is really nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carolyn. Great job. A few years ago, the council discussed the presentation of a new award, one that would be given to an individual and focused on that person's overall contributions to the city and township, rather than exclusively on his or her business contributions. These generous individuals constantly give of their time and resources and make us even more proud that we live, work, and play here. Our criteria is simple, but all-inclusive for this award. Focus on 3 areas: community involvement in the Canfield schools, and business accomplishments or promotion of business within the community. And the council felt that this award would be even more special to the recipient if he or she wasn't aware that they'd be receiving it. But through our own devious methods, we ensured that our 2015 Spirit of Canfield honoree is here this evening. So, are you all getting a little nervous, wondering if it's you? Please turn your attention to the screen to find out the identity of our recipient.
I've worked with Mark Graham for over 15 years now, and Mark is really a special individual. He's been with Farmers National Bank for 38 years.
Just about everybody in the community knows Mark Graham and his representation of the bank, which he's done in a fantastic way for many, many years. Mark has done a great job going over and above the call of duty. Anytime there's a need in the community, Mark has stepped up to serve that need.
He has such a sense of community, and it shows, I think probably because he had come from a small community, and now living in one, he just feels at home. He loves just being with people too, and when you talk to Mark, you just feel really at ease because he's just a down-to-earth kind of guy.
We tease Mark because of his pride for Canfield. It's really a special thing when you think of Mark Graham and you think of how much Canfield as a community and farmers means to him.
He's not only my biggest cheerleader, but he's also Canfield's biggest cheerleader. I think he will always be a big supporter of Canfield and he'll always be their #1 fan and try to do anything he can for the community.
From myself and from the Farmers family all together, we just really congratulate Mark on this great award tonight, and he really is deserving of the Spirit of Canfield Award.
Mark is chairman and longtime treasurer of the 4th of July Committee, treasurer of school bond and levy issues for the Canfield local schools, co-chair of the Canfield Renovate the Roost Stadium and Renovation Expansion, chair of the James and Cora Lee Centofanti Fund, treasurer of the Mill Creek Metro Parks Board, a member of the Canfield Athletics Big Booster Club, Finance Committee of St. Michael Church, and the committee that helps the Ursuline Sisters of Youngstown. The Canfield Area Council and I couldn't be more proud to present this year's Spirit of Canfield Award to Mark Graham, Executive Vice President, Chief Credit Officer at Farmers National Bank.
Well, I didn't take speech and debate in high school. Overwhelmed, very surprised, gratitude. Thank you to the chamber. Thank you to all my friends and individuals that maybe have played a part in this. If I say a few things, it's about blessings. I've been eternally blessed in my life, blessed to live in the community that I live in. I should roll back. Blessed by my wife, my lovely children, the most important thing in my life. That being said, blessings to work at Farmers Bank for as long as I have, be a part of this community, blessed by individuals that have touched my life and given me a lot of opportunity. One individual, Jim Senafani, as was mentioned, gave me the opportunity to learn about what giving back and helping is all about. Thank you, Jim. And that's about it. Thank you.
Could we just have Mark's family stand up? I know they're here with him. There we go. Our final award of the evening is a little bittersweet for the Canfield Area Council, as we wanted to present its recipient with the Spirit of Canfield Award a few years ago. Unfortunately, he had just been diagnosed with cancer and began treatment at that time. Sadly, he wasn't able to overcome the battle and passed on February 6th of this year at the age of 89. If you want to please turn your attention to the screen once again and learn more about this phenomenal man.
Lou was born in June of 1925 and recently passed away in February of 2015. Lou joined the Marines when he was a senior in high school and served in World War II. When he came home, he got his GED and started a Lou Spiess Construction. He later married his wife Joyce, and they had 4 sons. Lou always had a vision that he wanted to do something for the community and to preserve history. In 1988, he started the War Vet Museum. Lou had the vision of doing something for veterans, honoring them. And I think that's the key word here, is honoring veterans and the past wars. And to have it to where people could come in, especially children, to enjoy and benefit from it. You get a lot more walking through here than you can get out of a history book, I feel. Lou was a kind and gracious individual. The idea of having this and taking on the project of this War Vet Museum is a lot in itself. I think it says a lot of him. He's well deserving of this award. He's going to be missed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Kubica, Commander of the American Legion, to accept the Citizenship Award on behalf of Louis Spiess and his family.
Thank you. Good evening. It's an honor to accept this Chamber of Commerce Citizenship Award for Louis. Lou was a friend and also a local member of our American Legion post here in Canfield. As we said up here, Lou always had a dream to preserve artifacts in military history. And since 1988, he's collected over 50,000 items in the museum. And the nice thing about them is that they're on display where young children and adults can come in and handle them. He wanted to preserve history and let our children know and the community know where our freedom came from. On behalf of Louis John Spiess Jr., the Spiess family wishes to thank the Chamber of Commerce for this Citizenship Award. And they want to thank the community and the friends that he's gained over the years. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Michael. Lou's legacy will certainly live on for years to come, and so many people will continue to be impacted by his thoughtfulness and generosity. Moving on to some quick but important updates. We're always happy to have our city, township, and school officials, as well as those in the business community, participate in our events to share a little insight about what's going on in Canfield. For the sake of time, we've asked each to focus on most relevant issues and present them in just 5 minutes. We'll start with our city's mayor, Mr. Bernie Kosar Sr.
I was going to come up and say something clever, but I'd rather say this. I knew Lou. My grandsons have come through that museum, and they were just fascinated by it. It's so refreshing to hear people say, I'm proud of Canfield, I'm happy to be here. My wife and I have been here a little over 10 years. This city has just taken us in, made us part of city life, and I was an auxiliary policeman for 8.5 years, and then one day they pointed a finger at me and said, you're going to be the mayor. I said, I can't even spell mayor. Anyway, I'm just so happy to be here with you, and I too am very, very proud of Canfield. We are rebuilding Canfield from the ground up. I have 10 projects that I want to talk about. It's only going to take me about a half an hour. First and foremost is the traffic control cameras that are on 224 from Giant Eagle or Hillside to the Green to Cardinal. Many people think that we're going to issue traffic citations with this apparatus. That is not the case. Put your fears aside. This is going to control traffic. This is going to, when emergency vehicles are coming through town, this apparatus, this stuff, magical stuff, will be able to sense the frequency of an emergency vehicle and turn 4 red lights on so that we can get through, emergency people can get through that intersection. You know, we had a pretty bad accident. A deputy sheriff, so we're trying to prevent that. This is going to be a wonderful thing. It's going to be able to, at fair time, we'll be able to control traffic from the police station or from a cruiser. It's black magic. I'm an engineer, but I have no idea how that's going to work. Anyway, don't be afraid of it. It's here to help the city. We're going to replace the sidewalks from the Village Green down to Hillside. That should be completed probably by the end of summer. 24-inch water line. We're going to replace about a half a mile. Initially, when we discovered the problem, we thought it might be 6 miles of pipe that we're responsible for. 6 miles of pipe, but give or take $200 a foot. That's a big nut to crack. When we did the testing and we found that it's more like 2,500 feet. That should start May the 4th, and it should be done in 4 to 5 weeks. We don't think there will be a big requirement or an extraordinary requirement for water, so we think that's going to go very smooth. I don't know what the rest of the county experienced this winter, but Canfield experienced a very harsh winter. Very harsh. We just went through our budget for 2015, and we increased the road resurfacing budget by 30%, hoping that's enough. We, I think, are the envy of the county for lack of potholes and lack of snow on our streets. Our residents complain when they have to leave the city and drive on other people's roads, okay? So we want to maintain that, so we're going to maintain our roads. Route 46, for those of you that drive through Canfield at night, it's a beautiful thing to see, either going north or south on Route 46, the lighting, the surface. We're going to add a 3rd lane from Dartmouth to Sleepy Hollow, and then we're going to go with 2 lanes, wide lanes, 14 foot, from there to the bridge, to the Turnpike Bridge, which is our property line. And the first question you would ask is, why wouldn't you make it 3 lanes all the way? There's not sufficient traffic to justify that expenditure at this point in time. And for those people that say it might be wise and save money in the long run if you did that, don't ever get your mind all screwed up with logic. Okay. We're going to open up, thank you, Linda, for picking up on that. We're going to open up Timber Run and take it into the community that lies beyond the city, township. There's going to be a new bridge being put over Gibson Road by the Turnpike. Those poor folks have no way to get out to civilization, so the Turnpike is going to pay for the paving of Timber Run, and that traffic will flow through. We would hope that once Gibson Road is reopened, that it would flow the way it used to flow, but it's going to open up several communities and give you 2 ways in, 2 ways out, which is a state requirement once you reach a certain size for certain communities. I think the number is 20 families or 20 houses. One of my favorite projects that we're accomplishing, I didn't use past tense, accomplishing. We have worked with the township trustees. We had a real sticky wicket. We came to what we think is a very, very good agreement to bring Windsor House into our community. They will remain in the township. They need water and sewer, which the city has. We're creating the first joint economic development district in Mahoning County. If you don't know, a joint economic development zone is an agreement between 2 incorporated entities. An example of that might be City of Girard and City of Youngstown for the steel plant. If you have an unincorporated entity and an incorporated entity, it's a joint economic development district. We have reached agreement with the trustees, and it was a very good negotiations to get there. Thank you, Marie. We have a very, very fair agreement, and we're going to bring 72 jobs into the Canfield community. I'm thrilled with that. I'm ecstatic. We have recognized a need since the year 2001 to update our police department, storage of records, storage of evidence, storage of computer equipment, servers, if you please. Since 2001, we've been talking about the addition to the police department. We, council, finally looked at this and said, we can't kick the can down the road anymore. We had a 45-minute power outage not long ago, and we were out of business. Our fire department, our police, we couldn't communicate with one another. So we are taking steps to hopefully prevent that from ever happening again. That was a long 45 minutes. Think about it. 911 didn't exist. Didn't exist. Police only had their portable radios. So we've approved in our budget capital expenditure of $500,000 to put an addition onto the police department to secure our servers from tornadoes, if you please, to have storage of evidence and records on site, and it's a major step forward. We started to think about it in 2001. We finally got it done this year. That's good. As part of that capital expenditure, we are restructuring an existing debt that the city has, and Farmers National Bank has stepped up and restructured that debt and financed the addition to the police department, and it actually helps us from a budgeting standpoint. We have a current interest rate, which is better than the rate we had before, and we will actually have an additional $12,000 that will not be expended every year. Thank you. We appreciate it. I'm not going to say much about the new library, but it is such a pleasure to watch it it is under roof. And just watch the bits and pieces. It's like an erector set coming together. And we're hoping the addition to the police department adds beauty to that entire neighborhood, because right now it's a broken down fence and a building that looks like the back of a building. So with the library coming in and this new addition to be backing into the library, we hope that we beautify the city. The last item I want to mention, the Arby's restaurant is now closed. I was in the Arby's business for 10, 12 years. And the owners, the Pepino Group out of Niles, Ohio, are going to demolish the existing Arby's and build a new one. And they have worked with our planning and zoning people to influence Arby's International to build a building that would be very, very suitable and blend right into the Canfield landscape. And that's a nice project. I would just like to close with this. If you ever get asked to be the mayor of Canfield, jump on it. It is more fun than you can imagine.
Next, we have the drawing for the giveaway from Magnolias on the Green, Salon and Spa. Carolyn, if you want to come up and explain a little bit about it, and I'll mention the name of the winner, Heidi Daniel. Go ahead and take a minute to talk about that.
We wanted to thank you by giving a day of beauty tonight, and just to give you an example of what we do at Magnolias. And so the recipient will get a full day of beauty, 30-minute massage, 30-minute facial, a pedicure, a manicure, a shampoo and style, and makeup. So if you're going out, Heidi, that would be the day. Is she here? It's perfect. Is she talking about the library?
Yes, but
Not yet.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's great.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have you in a little bit. Thank you, Mayor Kosar. We appreciate that update. Next up is the Canfield Township Trustee Chairman, Stephen Maschak.
Well done. Try some new technology here. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for taking up my time as well. I appreciate that. So I will make my remarks brief if I can get this thing to work here. There we go. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Thank the Chamber for hosting the event, the Tippecanoe Country Club staff, and if we could all put our hands together one more time for our event sponsor, Farmers National Bank. My name is Steve Maschak. I am the current chairman of the Board of Trustees of Canfield Township. I have been asked tonight by the Chamber to talk about what is going on in the township and what is going to be happening in the near future. I am excited to report to you tonight that all of our residents are happy and that business in the community is great. Thank you. Really, if only it were that easy. I would like to highlight two businesses that will be coming to our township in the near future. The mayor did touch on one of those. The first has been made possible through the cooperative effort over the past 12 months of both the Canfield Township trustees and the city of Canfield. On March 31st, 2015, our board approved and authorized the execution of a joint economic development district by and between Canfield Township and the city of Canfield. Pending approval by the Mahoning County Commissioners, this joint economic development district will become the first of its kind in Mahoning County. The JED consists of 6 parcels of land, approximately 18.6 acres in total, located within the township between Route 446 and Route 62. On this site, Windsor House Incorporated will begin construction of a 55,000 square foot, 72-bed skilled nursing and rehabilitation center upon approval of their application to the Ohio Department of Health. Pending approval, construction will commence in either the fall of 2015 or the spring of 2016. This rehabilitation center will consist of all private rooms and will provide services primarily for rehabilitation involving physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy for individuals being discharged from hospitals but still in need of skilled care. The center will be licensed by the Ohio Department of Health as a skilled nursing facility. The $12 million center will employ 72 full-time equivalent individuals once it is operating at full capacity and have an estimated annual payroll of more than $2.2 million. The City of Canfield will provide water and sanitary services to the facility, and in exchange will receive money generated from income tax from the employees. The township will provide police protection services for the JED and will receive the real estate taxes derived from this facility. I would like to commend the negotiation teams from both the township and the city for establishing what will be the first joint economic development district in Mahoning County. Another project located entirely in the township of Canfield is already well underway. Construction of the Canfield Marriott Courtyard Hotel began in the summer of 2014. The 5-story, 70,000 square foot Marriott Courtyard is scheduled to open in late spring of 2015. The Township Board of Trustees is proud to welcome these two new businesses to our community, and we look forward to a lasting relationship and wish both great success. Coupled with growing business development, the township continues to see strong growth in residential development as well. In 2014, there were a total of 134 residential building permits issued in Mahoning County, and of those 134 permits, 37 were for Canfield Township. We have also realized a very promising 2015. In other township news, we are continuing to develop the Canfield Township Community Park located off of Herbert Road. The township has received grants from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and the Land and Water Conservation Fund. This spring, we will begin construction of a park pavilion located just south of the current playground area. The new site will have charcoal grills and picnic tables for visitors to use while they're at the park. The athletic fields are open to Canfield residents to use for fun or for organized sports. The Canfield Soccer Club is at home there on the athletic fields, and we're happy to have them. Also in 2015, the Ohio Department of Transportation, in coordination with the Ohio Turnpike and Infrastructure Commission, has developed a turnpike mitigation program. I am pleased to announce that the township has received a grant through this ODOT program to replace storm sewers that have been impacted by water runoff. And these are primarily on Pebble Beach Drive. And this project is slated to start this summer as well. Finally, before I finish, I'd like to give special thanks to our Public Works Department led by our Assistant Public Works Foreman, Bob Burkett. As mentioned by the mayor, we had an extremely harsh winter this year, which created hazardous road conditions for everyone throughout the county and in our township. Our Public Works Department worked tirelessly to keep our township roads safe, and I want to acknowledge them for their effort. I also want to thank my fellow board members, Marie Cartwright and Brian Governor, who are both here this evening, along with Keith Rogers, our Township Administrator, Fiscal Officer Carmen Heasley, and Zoning Inspector Dave Morrison for their commitment to our township. They worked tirelessly and put countless hours into making Canfield Township a great place to live and work. Thank you again to the Chamber, Tippecanoe Country Club, and our event sponsor, Farmers National Bank. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Thank you again for that update, Stephen, and I think everybody agrees that we certainly appreciate the cooperation between city and township. Get things done. Next up, I'd like to call on the superintendent of the Canfield Area Local School District, Mr. Alex Jordan.
Five minutes, huh? Okay. First off, I want to thank the Chamber, Farmers Bank for sponsoring, and all of the members who organized this evening. It's always been an outstanding event, and hopefully you can continue to do so. I'm just thankful I left this afternoon around 4:30 so I could get here because of the bridge. So I'm blessed for that this evening. And then also, Mayor mentioned many projects going on in the area. Just come into the office and listen to the bus drivers in the morning and afternoon, and you can find out how many activities going on throughout the county. Honestly, congratulations to the award recipients. Thank you for everything you do in the community. It makes it a wonderful place. The one thing that I've learned about Mark, and I take it home with me every day, because I meet so many positive role models and fathers in the business that I'm in. and Mark, gotten to know Tess real well over the last year, and she's a new employee of Canfield Local Schools for next year, and that's the one thing that you can take to the grave with you. Nice job. Like to definitely introduce everyone with us tonight from the schools. We have Mr. Phil Bova, who's our board president, Mr. Craig Olson, who is definitely in the room somewhere. He's in the back there, vice president, Mrs. Nancy Lasich, who is a board member, and Mr. John Tullio, our director of curriculum and instruction. We have a brief PowerPoint that I wanted to, and I'll definitely use Cliff Notes tonight. And I know we have a Mac, and this was on a different version. If it doesn't come up, we can go off the cuff. That's not a problem. Definitely like to highlight a few things. And what we brought tonight was our State of the Schools that we had an address back in February. That is on our website. So if you're interested in knowing exactly what's happening in your school system, that is available to you at any point on our website. A few things that I'd like to highlight to you is a few years ago, we had a strategic planning initiative that really guides us in our school system on a daily basis. And one of the areas that we definitely, one obviously is taking advantage, and we're very lucky to have a permanent improvement levy in the district. And we utilized that this past year on technology upgrades, not only for instruction, but also for testing that's mandated on all school systems throughout the state of Ohio that's online currently. So we're very fortunate enough to be able to have that fund to outfit all our technology throughout the district. Not only infrastructure, but new items so that our staff and students can utilize. Another item that I'd like to highlight too is we've brought back high school busing this year, which has created a little bit of an issue for us, but we'll continue to manage that even better as in the near future. But also we're able to go door to door, kindergarten through 4th grade, so that we have our youngest of youth to be able to be picked up at their doorstep. And as we've all mentioned, and as we all realized this year, the winter that we had, it did the heart good knowing that we were going to be able to pick those youngsters up right at their doorstep. That helped out immensely. Another area that we improved on this year, first time we were able to offer all-day kindergarten in Canfield schools. That not only brought back and we're able to take control and take the responsibility of educating our youth throughout their schooling, but also gives our youngsters that extra push early on in their career. And again, all-day kindergarten first time this year, and we're anticipating that's going to be a wonderful improvement and advancement for the district. You're still struggling there? No problem. Another area we want to highlight, we're advancing curriculum all the time in the district. We have a wonderful teaching and learning committee that also came through with the strategic planning initiative. And we made advancements and enhancements in our English language arts department this year. And we're utilizing guided reading, which is actually we're able to have youngsters being taught on their ability level. So we're able to drive all groups at their specific ability level. So we're able to make sure that we have movement throughout all of our populations. So that's been a positive. This year we're spending and exhausting an exorbitant amount of time on enhancement in mathematics. So it's not only English language arts and reading, but it's also mathematics so important. On top of that, we're looking at STEM growth, robotics growth, and we have an initiative that we're talking about right now in the district is actually having a pathway in biomedical and medical options for incoming freshmen. And our goal there is by the time youngsters leave us, it's going to be an early college program. It's going to happen in Canfield schools. We're hoping to have youngsters by the time they graduate high school to have 2 years of college paid for. And we're able to step in their 3rd year of education in college level, again, in the medical field. We have so many youngsters walking the hallways going into that profession. We're confident that we're able to offer that right in our halls. And what's very interesting there, the school day will not end at 2:15. It will go on in the evening hours, and youngsters will be able to utilize Canfield schools after hours. It's so important to be able to do that. We need to get away from the idea of brick and mortar only, and also structured at 7:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon. So that's an initiative that we're very excited to be accomplishing. One award I want to highlight before I step aside this evening. We received the AAA award this year. We were one of 2 districts in a 5-county area The AAA award, as you know, we have district report card in the schools throughout the state of Ohio, and we have indicators that we have to meet with standardized tests. We obviously met those indicators. We expect to meet those indicators. It's demanded out of us, and our community expects that out of us. But we also reach two other key areas. It's value added, is making sure youngsters improve each year at their ability level and show growth, but also performance index. It's embedded right into our vision statement to be top 10 throughout the state of Ohio. We're right around the number of 30 right now throughout the state for all of public education. And our goal is to be top 10, and performance index is an area that we want to make sure that we take a look at. The one thing about the award, I mentioned two districts, and one other district is Maplewood Local Schools, which is in Trumbull County. We were the lone Mahoning County school that received this award. The key thing about those two school systems, and there's commonality there, and it's in their superintendents, and we're both Greek. So that tells you a little bit about what's going on. I don't know if there's something to that, but that is factual. No, again, in jest, we're very fortunate to work with your youngsters, with our youngsters in the community, work with the staff that we do on a daily basis. Again, we mentioned blessed. We are blessed every day to be able to get up in the morning and come to the positions that we carry and the jobs that we carry on for you folks as a public entity. Have a wonderful evening and the rest of 2015.
Thank you again, Superintendent Jordan. We always like to hear about what's happening with the schools. Right now, of course, we may not necessarily look forward to driving to and from the schools given the work that's taking place on the bridge at routes 224 and 11. So we've asked Jim Kinnick, Planning and Engineering Administrator for the Ohio Department of Transportation, to return to our event this year to give us an update on how the traffic is flowing and how things are looking. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Jim Kinnick.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank the Chamber for having me back. And I got to tell you, when you had me out here in October, it was a beautiful day, it was morning breakfast, and our project wasn't started yet. So it was easy to tell you how good it's going to be and how it's going to look when we're done. Now you bring me back here, and I was a little leery about coming. You bring me back here, I'm driving here, and I came from Akron. I live in the area, but I was at work in our district office in Akron. So I'm coming over 224, it's raining, it's bumper to bumper through there, and I really thought about going home because we were dragging through there. But nevertheless, I do want to give you an update. But before I get into that, I want to just give you a brief kind of overview of what ODOT's doing in the whole area here, and then I'll kind of hone it down to just that project alone. You got a clicker?
I'm gonna just
Go ahead. And I did, you know, I told you I was a little nervous about coming today because of the project, so I did bring reinforcements. And Joe Alfano, our construction area engineer of all our projects, and especially that one, is in the audience tonight to take questions when we're done. Before, like I said, I want to just talk about the ODOT overall project construction program. I'm going to highlight the projects in District 4. When I say District 4, the state's divided into 12 districts. We're District 4, and we cover as far as Summit, Stark, Portage. We cover Mahoning, then go to Trumbull, and all the way up to Ashtabula. So we got a big district, a lot of projects, and I'm happy to talk about a few of our projects. Again, just want to give you an overall view statewide. There's ODOT runs a construction program. If we look back at 2012, it was $1.7 billion. This year, fiscal 15, which we're currently under, we're running at $2.45 billion worth of construction projects statewide. Kind of put that in perspective. In District 4 alone, we're running $322 million worth of construction. We're the busiest district in the state. That's 1/8 of the state, and if you think about it, we've got 12 districts. When we just break down our district alone, and I know nobody really in here wants to worry about Summit County, but I wanted to just show you how we distribute our projects. And when we look at Mahoning County, we got 12 projects totaling $125 million this year. Trumbull County, we got 21 projects and $22 million worth of construction. A lot of construction in this area. I know a lot of times I hear, and I'm all over the district, I'm actually all over the state, and people think that we're not getting our fair share. I can tell you, we're getting our share of projects, and we're getting our share of money, and we're trying to put it to good use. These are just the projects I want to talk about. Just want to focus on 5 real quick, and then I'll take questions on our bridge just down the road from here. Really, our prize project in this area is our Mahoning-Trumbull 80 project. We just sold that. It's a $110 million investment in the area. It's going to add a 3rd lane to 80 from State Route 46, 11, 680 right there at the split, and take it all the way through to Belmont, or State Route 193. We'll taper it back down there. Huge project for us. Incredible amount of truck traffic. I got to tell you, it's the most truck traffic percentages in the state, where we're getting upwards of 25,000 trucks a day cutting through there. It's so bad. I could tell a story. Before we had that thing ready to go, my daughter, when she learned how to drive, and she had to work out that way, I wouldn't even let her drive that part of 80. Very dangerous section of road, and I can't wait to get the 3rd lane on there. But it'll take us, they'll start construction probably in June. That's a 3-year project, but we'll keep 2 lanes open in both directions. But when we're done, the traffic will really flow through there. I just mentioned this one. This is Mahoning 76. It's the noise walls. It's a $5 million project. We're wrapping up. Of all the jobs we have, and I got to tell you, I've been in this business for 29 years, and you see a lot of construction projects. They worked on this job through the dead of winter. It's 20 below. I'm driving to Akron every day, and these guys are out digging holes for a noise wall. I just couldn't figure out why they couldn't do that in the fall, or even just kind of focus on the spring. It wasn't that urgent, but those walls are coming as communities need those. This is 680 bridge, and again, I try to focus, and I'm working our way back to Canfield here. This is a Western Reserve Bridge over 680. Last year, we had the 224 bridge over 680. We completed that. We followed up with this one. This will be under construction this year. We're going to widen it to 5 lanes, and we're kind of focused on that area. When we look at congestion in this area alone, we've really found out that we're backing cars up onto our interstate at this interchange, and so we're widening this bridge out this year, and then we're hoping to our bigger project, which will be coming in years to come. We're going to start a new interchange at 164, which is just south of Western Reserve Road there. That'll alleviate the congestion that the county has experienced, the county, Western Reserve being a county road, is experienced for people trying to get off there and go south. One of those that I did not realize that is really a cut through for that portion of Mahoney County to get to Pittsburgh and the airport. And the traffic numbers are incredible there. By pulling the traffic up to 164 and letting them get off there, we'll open up Western Reserve Road and we'll make this flow a lot better. Part of this bridge, the one bridge is going to be in segments there. One of the bridges will be done next year, and in the following year we'll probably get the full interchange. So we're looking a couple years out. But one of those just kind of projects, wherever I go, somebody asks me about. This is just one for Joe I put on the screen for him. It's a paving job. We're going to start it in downtown Canfield. I believe it starts this summer and we wrap up this summer. It's going to pave 224 with Joe's initiative, and 46 will get that paving done. Part of the widening job that I think he talked about earlier, somebody referenced earlier, widening 46 as you go north out of the city. That's on the books. We're working with the city on that one. That's looking like it's going to be early calendar year 17. Okay, lastly, Mahoning 224, 1344. This is our bridge project right now. I got to tell you, I think when we're at ODOT, we get so used to projects, we fail to realize how compassionate people can be about a project. This is just one of what we do. It's one of those jobs that when we're done, everybody's going to say what a beautiful project it is. Adding the lane to the bridge, adding the 2 lanes when you're heading from the east side of the bridge, heading west, 2 lanes there. The improvement to Raccoon Road, adding a lane in each direction. You can click, I'm sorry. I did show what the improvements are, and I think by now everybody's well aware what the project is. But what I can tell you is that I thought that the department and the community got out in front of this, and everybody's well aware of what we're doing out there. Certainly there are inconveniences, but we push the traffic to the south or the north side of the bridge, hopefully in 1 lane each direction. I realize it's tight and we back up at rush hour. Not a lot we can do about that. We're working our way through it. By mid-July, we should have that portion, the southern portion of the bridge widened. We'll move and flip traffic to the southern portion and then do the northern portion of the bridge. We will finish this job this year. It'll finish in October. We're working with the community, the township, and the village on the Fair Week. But what's most important is this job not wintering over it, and lessons learned on the 224 bridge at 680. You can't let these type of bridge jobs winter over because you can't do any work, and all it is congestion. The snow comes down and Christmas shoppers are out, and then the phone rings in Akron. This job will be done this year, I can assure you that, and I can't wait to come back here for the breakfast in October and tell you what a good job that was, too. That's cute. I am gladly take any questions on any of our projects. I just try to give an overview of what we have going on. Obviously, there's a lot of projects out there. I appreciate Steve recognizing the Turnpike Mitigation Program. That's one I failed to mention, but as a program, the state added money to the community, added $5 million a year to the communities that are affected by the Turnpike. And what we're looking at, and Canfield Township was excellent with an application to get in there, any adverse effect that the Turnpike may have put on those communities, and we're trying to resolve those. And last year, I think that application was in, actually it was about a year and a half ago, successful getting that money, and the township actually has another one in, and it looks good on that one too. So that's what we need, that type of cooperation from the locals, and we appreciate their involvement. Thank you.
Thank you again, Jim. And last but not least, our final update of the evening is another one that all of us are keeping an eye on as we excitedly await the completion and opening of the new Canfield branch of the Public Library of Youngstown and Mahoning County. Please welcome to give us an update, Director Heidi Daniel.
Good evening, and thanks for having me. And the next time I speak, I'll look more relaxed and glamorous, thanks to Magnolias on the Green. So that to look forward to. Thank you again for having me. I'm excited to be here this evening to give you an update on the beautiful new building in Canfield. I'm sure many of you, or hopefully many of you, have seen the progress as it's gone along here. You know, of course, that we had a rough winter like everybody else, and but we were very fortunate in that we have an incredible construction crew, an architect, and all of our subcontractors and general contractor, and they worked incredibly hard throughout the winter, and you can really see the building taking shape, has taken shape out there. And there were days when I would go by at like 6 in the morning and think, they're not gonna be out there, it's too cold, it's too early, and they would be out there working. So we're all very excited and determined to keep the project moving along on schedule. And we did lose a few days, unfortunately, due to weather, but we're still moving along quite well. And in fact, we are able to have gotten the building dried out, so we're going to be able to do a lot of interior work now, starting in this season. And the weather, of course, has cooperated with us to get started on that piece of the job. And the windows have arrived, and we're all very excited to see it move into these next phases. Of course, you'll notice the covered walkway is there. I just mentioned that because this is the only location in our 15-branch system that has a covered walkway. So that's one of the unique features of the Canfield Library. And of course, when you enter into the building, one thing you will notice is our beautiful community living room that is there, that is really an opening piece, and it connects to both of our meeting rooms, both the large meeting room that will see approximately 175 and is designed to be able to be reconfigured in a variety of fashions, from lecture style seating to black box seating, and also our smaller activity room, which can accommodate smaller groups, a lot of our messier programs that we do with children and adults, and also can be utilized by the community and run it by the community, as can the larger room, and can accommodate trainings, and we'll have a lot of technology access in that room as well. And we're very excited because when you enter the community living room, we will now be able to offer you an espresso of a variety of kinds provided by Stone Fruit Coffee. So they're going to have a cafe in the entry of the building. Stone Fruit, if you aren't familiar with them, is a Canfield business, and they're straight down Main Street there if you keep going right across from the Sunoco. So we're excited that they're partnering with us. They're going to be coming into that space and adding a great feature and amenity there, because we heard over and over again that people really wanted to be able to get a very good cup of coffee, not just something self-serve. So we added that addition, and we're very happy to partner with a local Canfield business for that. We're also working on the interior design for the children's space, which is going to be, again, very unique to our system. We won't have anything else like it. We're working with a designer who normally this company designs museum pieces, but they've done work with other libraries, and so they're designing a playscape for us that focuses on early literacy pieces. And so we'll be happy to share more details with that as it becomes available. We do have 2 smaller adult meeting rooms, quiet reading dens in the back, a teen room, of course, and a teen study room as well. And all of those will be equipped with a lot of new technology that will allow co-working between individuals in case you would like to work in a group setting there. And someone asked me as I came in, will you have charging stations? And the answer to that is yes. We have identified 8 charging stations in the building, and each of them have multiple places for people to plug into. So there'll be ample space for people to come in with their own devices or use one of ours. So we're very excited. The project is moving along, and you'll start seeing the site work happening later in the year as well, as we start focusing on the landscaping and the outdoor pieces, the greenery that we will have, as well as the outdoor sort of community performance space that we have out there, and the ways that we'll be able to hopefully connect to the green for easier access and walkability. So that's where we are with the project, and we're incredibly excited and hope you are too. As a parent of a Canfield, both of my children go to school in Canfield, and I'm so happy because so many parents have come up to me to say, aren't you the library lady? And I'm always like, yes, yes, I am. And they are just so excited about the fact that they're gonna have this new building, and it's especially gratifying to see another generation of Canfield residents have a new community space to look forward to as well with their little ones coming up. They'll have that building to look forward to as well. So thank you so much for your time this evening, and I'll be in the back if you have any questions. Oh, I also want to mention that Debbie Liptak, our development director, is here, and we have had a very successful first and second phase campaign for the private donations that go into the building, and we have had generous support from the community. It's been overwhelming and amazing. We have a great group of stakeholders that have planned some wonderful fundraisers, including a Valentine's Day dinner that was very successful. And we're also selling, the Friends of the Library are selling a special roast from Stone Fruit that you can purchase, the beans, and part of the proceeds goes to the Friends campaign. So with that, I will wrap it up. And if you have any questions, please feel free to see me afterwards. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Heidi. I have a feeling that that library is going to be quite the gathering center at Canfield, especially with Stone Fruit Coffee there as well. On behalf of the Canfield Area Council, again, I'd like to thank Farmers Bank for the sponsorship. The folks that received their awards tonight, congratulations again. We appreciate what you do. I'd like to extend, please stay a little while. Don't run home yet. Let's use some networking time here together. And also, please consider joining the Canfield Area Council. Our goal is to just make it all a better place and network and help each other make this community grow. Thank you again for attending, and please stay for a little bit longer.